Welcome to the Year 6 Christmas performance. This year we thought it would be nice to give you an insight into our learning over the past few months.
This term we have been learning all about World War I, from trench warfare to the vast changes in Britain during the Great War.
As part of our performance, we would like to tell you all about Christmas in the trenches and sing some Christmas carols from this time period.
World War I started on the 28th of July 1914, following the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary. He was shot and killed by a Serbian man who thought Serbia should control Bosnia instead of Austria.
Following this, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. As a result of political alliances, Russia, Germany and Britain were soon involved in the war. Much of the fighting took place on the Western Front, which was located in Belgium and northern France. German troops fought British, French and Belgian troops from trenches they had dug into the ground. Soldiers also had to live in these trenches, where life was very difficult.
In the weeks leading up to Christmas 1914, there had been loads of heavy rain.
This meant that the trenches were filled with mud and water, causing a very painful condition, known as trench foot. Daily life was very uncomfortable for the soldiers and they often suffered illness and anxiety.
Starting in early December, soldiers from both sides had begun to take part in friendly interactions.
They spoke to each other from the trenches and in some cases allowed the other side to remove their wounded soldiers from no man's land.
On Christmas Eve, the British soldiers noticed tiny lights flickering along the parapet on the German trenches. Closer inspection revealed that they were small Christmas trees running for miles along the trench.
A single German soldier could then be heard singing Silent Night. Soon he was joined by a number of his comrades, and they could easily be heard from the British side of the battlefield. We hope you enjoy our rendition of Silent Night.
that done, the British soldiers replied with the first Noel. The performance was applauded by the German trenches. Please listen to our version of the first Noel. After a back and forth across the trenches, the story goes that the two sides joined together to sing "O Come All Ye Faithful." Our last song will be "O Come All Ye Faithful." Please join in if you know the words. On Christmas morning, both sides had made signs to send greetings to the opposition trenches. Bravely, some men ventured out to the middle of no man's land. Soldiers shook hands and exchanged pleasantries to agree to bury fallen soldiers, to lay them to rest with dignity and respect.
As the days went on, more and more soldiers made their way out of the trenches and socialised. It is believed that the soldiers exchanged gifts and souvenirs, shared cigarettes and cigars, as well as rum.
Legend also has it an impromptu barber shop was set up in no man's land and soldiers charged a few cigarettes for a haircut.
The story goes that a football bounced across the icy cold ground, which led to a football match breaking out. Goals were marked out with caps and jackets, with hundreds of players taking part. No official record has been found of the score, although some sources suggest a 4-3 for Germany.
Unfortunately, there were commanding officers from both sides who did not approve of the truce, and the troops spending time together. The troops were soon ordered back to the trenches. However, there was no record of anyone punished for the events connected to the Christmas truce.
In some parts of the Western Front, and the truce continued on New Year's Day. In other parts of the occasional shooting began on December the 26th. The truce was never repeated and the war lasted until November 1918.
Thank you for listening to our Year 6 performance. We hope you enjoyed hearing about Christmas during World War One.
As a year group, we were amazed at the bravery and spirit people showed during the war. It must have been an extremely difficult time for people, especially those away from their family.
This Christmas we are all making an extra special effort to be more grateful for the friends and family that we have around us. We hope you also have a wonderful festive period with your loved ones. Merry Christmas from all pupils and staff in Year 6.